representation in music over the last 20 years has been the pop stars, because they are knowingly creating a false image.
Right.
And they are servile to the false image to the point of jacking up their faces and jacking up their voices and deluding their audience that they're somebody that they're not. And they're all doing it in plain sight.
Right.
And at some point, even you'll see the audience reach a point of cognitive dissonance where they know that the person they want to believe in an idolatrous way isn't that person, and they force the people to double down on the idolatry.
Totally.
Because that's the only thing they can do. Or, as you know, as a fan of alternative music's the exact opposite.
Right.
It's about, well, warts and all.
Right. It's did you forget to bring a tie, or what are we doing here? Right.
Well, I always say it's the right T-shirt and the right mustache. All right, so let's I don't want to cut you off. So if you have something to add to that, but I want to kind of jump into
there's a writer, Daniel Pinchbeck, who used to write for Arthur Magazine. It was kind of like Oz Magazine from the '60s, but from 20 years ago. And he's kind of a Timothy Leary of Gen X, as Colbert called him.
Okay.
And he's written and talked about the pop star thing in recent years, where he's just like, he's gone full like vigilante citizen, where he's like, they love these intentional occult Illuminati references. This is Daniel.
In my notes, by the way.
Daniel.
You're doing
Pinchbeck.
A good job there.
Daniel Pinchbeck is mom knew the beats. Like he's a pretty sophisticated dude.
Yeah.
So to your point, of course. I mean, I don't think, of course, Billy. Like it's all pretty obvious.
Well, but maybe to much of the audience that just they're just fans of who they like. They wouldn't necessarily understand. Let's call it the motivations why a pop star would lean into occult imagery. It may not be as simple as, they're suddenly joined a secret society and they're giving the weird triangle thing.
Right.
We've all seen those pictures where like, oh my God, they're giving the triangle, whatever that's about. I mean, weirdos like myself, sometimes I did a tour in 2019 around my album's Cotillion. It was a solo album. And I dressed up in Freemason garb for the tour, having, by the way, no foreknowledge that my ancestors were actually OG Freemasons.
Really?
And there's actually a church built by one of my ancestors in the state of Illinois, where I was born and raised and still live, that's still standing, is a very famous Freemason church.
Really? Wow.
So I actually have OG occult, and my family was one of the original 100 Mormon families as well. So let's play that game for a second, and we'll move on to other people. So for all I know, I'm actually born with, so it's called the genetic imprint of secret societies. I'm attracted to them. I actually have Masons pull me aside and say, sure you don't want to join?
Oh, yeah.
So they're identifying something in me, or maybe it's just because I'm seen as I have some power in the world. I don't actually have much at all. So again, we're surfing on the wave of like, where does the game begin and end? And it's like something out